Mr. Luxury. Hello, my dear listeners. Welcome back to the Luxury English Podcast, where learning English feels fun, easy, and full of confidence. I'm Mr. Luxury, your friendly English teacher and life coach. Today's topic is one of the most useful skills in any language: how to introduce yourself and make new friends naturally in English. Podcast Part 3: The Journey Within Mastering Peace, Purpose, and Connection. There's a moment in everyone's life when silence becomes louder than success, when the applause fades, and you start to ask yourself, what truly matters now? That moment came to me not in a grand event, but in an ordinary afternoon. I was alone in my study, surrounded by everything I once dreamed of: books, awards, and soft golden light. But inside, I felt a quiet emptiness. That's when I realized life isn't about chasing what shines. It's about feeling what's real. And to feel what's real, you must go inward. So today, I want to talk about that journey, the journey within. A path that doesn't require money or fame, but honesty and awareness. Part 1: The courage to be honest with yourself. Honesty isn't about telling the truth to others. It starts with telling the truth to yourself. And that's often the hardest thing to do. For a long time, I pretended to be fine, smiling, performing, working, but deep down, I was tired, not from effort, but from pretending. The world teaches us to wear masks: the confident mask, the strong mask, the perfect mask. But masks may impress others. They also suffocate the soul. One night, I stood in front of the mirror and whispered, "I'm not okay, and that's okay." That small sentence changed everything. Because healing begins the moment you allow yourself to be real. Honesty is freedom. It's the door to emotional peace. When you stop lying to yourself about who you are or what you want, you start to breathe again. Part 2: The Art of Being Present. We talk about mindfulness a lot, but few people actually live it. To me, mindfulness isn't about meditating for hours. It's about noticing the taste of your coffee, noticing the sound of your own laughter, noticing when your heart feels heavy, and not judging it. Presence means being fully here, not in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries, because the only place life truly happens is now. These days, I practice small rituals of presence. When I wash my hands, I focus on the water. When I walk, I listen to the rhythm of my steps. When I speak, I make sure my words come from calm, not chaos. Presence is the foundation of peace. Without it, even success feels empty. Part 3: Work as a mirror of the soul. Our careers often reveal more about us than we realize. They reflect our fears, our ambitions, and our inner balance. For years, I worked to prove something to others, to the world, maybe even to myself. But now, I work to express something. There's a big difference between proving and expressing. When you work to prove, you seek validation. When you work to express, you share inspiration. And that's where true mastery begins. Every project I do now, every podcast, every lesson, every collaboration is not about being impressive. It's about being meaningful. That shift changes everything. Because when you do what you love with presence, people can feel your energy before they understand your words. Part 4: The Power of Human Connection. No matter how independent we are, we're not designed to live alone. Connection is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what makes the human experience warm and alive. I used to think solitude was strength. And yes, solitude is beautiful. It helps you listen to your soul. But connection gives that silence purpose. We learned who we are through others, through love, conflict, forgiveness, and empathy. Some of my deepest lessons came not from books, but from conversations. A student once told me, "Your voice helped me calm down during my darkest nights," and I realized that's impact. Not numbers, not likes, but hearts touch quietly. We underestimate the power of gentle words. One kind message, one genuine compliment, one deep conversation. They can heal more than we imagine. Part 5: Navigating the Storms. Peace is not the absence of chaos, it's the ability to remain grounded within it. I've faced my share of storms, disappointments, betrayals, moments of deep doubt. But with every storm, I've learned something profound. You don't need to control the weather. You just need to anchor yourself. When life gets heavy, I go back to my 3 anchors: gratitude, reflection, and faith. Gratitude keeps me humble. It reminds me of what's still beautiful. Reflection keeps me aware. It helps me understand, not react. Faith keeps me strong. It reminds me that every ending has meaning. Storms don't destroy you. They define you. They strip away what's fake and reveal what's true. Part 6: Luxury as a state of mind. I say this often. Luxury is not what you buy. It's what you feel. To live luxuriously is to live consciously, to walk slower, to breathe deeper, to speak kinder. Luxury is time to read, rest, and reconnect. Luxury is emotional intelligence, understanding instead of judging. Luxury is love, the kind that's patient and peaceful. When people hear luxury, they think of material beauty. But the real luxury is emotional wealth. It's being able to look at your life and say, "I'm content, I'm calm, I'm grateful." That's the elegance I want to share with every listener. Part 7: Reconnecting with nature and simplicity. Whenever I feel overwhelmed, I go outside. The trees, the sky, the sound of the wind, they remind me that life existed long before my deadlines. Nature teaches humility. It whispers, "Slow down. You're not in control, and that's okay." I often take walks without my phone, just listening. The world feels softer that way. You notice the rhythm of leaves, the light changing through clouds, the scent of rain, and suddenly you remember that peace doesn't need Wi-Fi. Simplicity isn't a downgrade, it's an upgrade in awareness. The simpler I live, the clearer I think, and clarity, that's the ultimate luxury. Part 8: Living with Purpose. Purpose isn't found once. It's discovered daily. It's not a single goal, it's the intention behind every choice. Some days, my purpose is big, to teach, to inspire, to create. Other days, it's small, to rest, to smile, to listen. What matters is alignment, living in harmony with your truth. That's why I always ask myself, does this bring me peace? If the answer is no, I let it go. Peace is my compass. Purpose is my path. Part 9: Message for the listener. If you've listened this far, thank you. It means you're also on your own journey, searching, learning, growing. And I want you to remember, you don't need to rush to become someone. You already are someone evolving, expanding, and discovering. Life is not a competition, it's a connection. And your worth has never depended on how fast you move, but on how deeply you feel. So, slow down, listen to your inner rhythm, and trust that every moment, even the quiet ones, is shaping you beautifully. Closing. As I end today's reflection, I'm sitting here with gratitude for this space, for your time, and for the chance to connect heart to heart. If my words bring you a little peace, a little clarity, then I've done my job. Remember, the journey within is the most luxurious trip you ever take. No passport, no tickets, just presence, patience, and self-love. Until next time, this is Mr. Luxury, reminding you to live gently, speak gracefully, and always stay connected to your purpose, to your peace, and to the quiet truth within you. Podcast Part 4, Love, Legacy, and the Language of the Heart. Love is the most misunderstood word in the world. People talk about it, sing about it, chase it, but few truly understand it. Because love isn't found in perfection, it's found in presence. It's not about what someone gives you, it's about what they awaken within you. When I was younger, I used to think love had to be big, dramatic gestures, constant attention, passion that never fades. But now, I've learned that real love is quiet. It's the kind that waits patiently, listens deeply, and grows gently over time. Love is not about fireworks. It's about warmth. It's not a spark, it's a steady flame that keeps you company through the long nights. Part 1, the love that teaches you. Every person we meet teaches us a different kind of love. Some teach us to open up. Some teach us to let go. And some, the rare ones, teach us to stay soft, even when the world turns cold. I remember a woman who once told me, luxury isn't what you own, it's how you make people feel when they're around you. At that moment, I didn't fully understand it, but now I do. She was right. Love isn't about possession, it's about presence. Some loves stay, others leave, but all of them leave traces, small lessons about who we are and what we value. Sometimes, heartbreak is not a punishment, it's a teacher in disguise. It cracks us open so that light can enter. You see, love will always shape you whether it stays or ends, and that's the beauty of it. Part 2, the language of the heart. We often focus on learning the language of the mind, grammar, logic, structure, but the language of the heart is different. It doesn't need perfect words. It needs presence, tone, and truth. A gentle "I understand," a simple "I'm here," a silent hug that says everything words cannot. That's emotional fluency, the most elegant kind of communication. Sometimes, when I teach English, I remind my students, don't just learn to speak correctly, learn to speak kindly, because kindness is universal grammar. You don't need translation for it, people feel it instantly. The most powerful messages I've ever received were from emails or speeches. They were from moments, a glance, a touch, a shared silence. That's the language of the heart, and once you speak it, you realize love was never complicated. It was always simple. We were the ones who made it hard. Part 3, the legacy of small things. When we think of legacy, we imagine big achievements, books, awards, wealth, success. But real legacy lives in the small, quiet things, in the kindness you give without being asked, in the patience you show when no one's watching, in the gentle words that make someone's day a little lighter. Legacy isn't about how many people know your name. It's about how many hearts remember your warmth. Sometimes, when I think about the future, I ask myself, if I disappeared tomorrow, what feeling would people remember when they think of me? Would it be stress, pride, or peace? I want my legacy to be calm, not chaos, warmth, not no's, presence, not perfection, because at the end of the day, People won't remember your title. They'll remember your tone. They'll remember how you made them feel when life got heavy. Part for the relationship between love and time. Time tests love. It asks, can you stay when things aren't easy? It whispers, can you grow together instead of apart? Real love doesn't need constant excitement. It needs consistency. It's not about butterflies. It's about roots. The more I live, the more I realize that time deepens love when both hearts choose patience. But it destroys love when pride takes control. That's why humility is essential in love, in work, in everything. To love someone is to see them clearly, not as a project to fix, but as a person to understand. And to be loved is to be seen without needing to hide. That's what we're all searching for. Not attention, but acceptance. Part 5, Self-Love Without Arrogance. We hear self-love everywhere now, but true self-love isn't about ego or entitlement. It's quiet respect for your own soul. It's knowing when to say no. It's resting without guilt. It's forgiving yourself for who you were when you didn't know better. For years, I thought self-love meant becoming stronger, but now I know it also means becoming softer. It's not about walls. It's about boundaries. It's not about pride. It's about peace. When you love yourself, you stop begging for love from others. You start attracting it naturally, gently, silently. Because people feel when your heart is full, they're drawn to your calm. Your peace becomes magnetic, and that's the quiet luxury of self-worth. Part 6, Love as a Legacy. One day, long after we're gone, people will remember us not by what we said, but by how we made them feel. That's love's final legacy, and it's written not in words, but in memories. Think of the teacher who believed in you, the friend who stood beside you when everyone else left, the stranger who smiled at you when you felt invisible. They are proof that love doesn't die, it multiplies. Every act of kindness creates ripples you'll never see, and that's how love builds eternity. The greatest luxury in life isn't owning things. It's leaving warmth behind when you're gone. Part 7, The Heart's Final Lesson. If life has taught me anything, it's this. Love is the most intelligent energy in existence. It transforms, it forgives, it rebuilds. It doesn't demand, it inspires. It doesn't rush, it flows. It doesn't end, it evolves. I've learned to say thank you even to heartbreak, because without it, I wouldn't have learned compassion. Without pain, I wouldn't have learned presence. And without loss, I wouldn't have learned gratitude. We don't own love, we participate in it. It moves through us, like wind through trees, invisible, yet powerful. And when you finally understand that, you stop searching for love outside yourself. You start becoming it. Part 8, Closing. Speak the language of the heart. So, my dear listener, wherever you are, I want you to pause for a moment. Breathe in, and remember that you are enough. You don't need to chase love. You are love. You don't need to prove your worth. You already have it, and the people meant for you will always recognize your peace. Speak gently. Love deeply. Live slowly. That is how you create your legacy, not with noise, but with grace, not with speed, but with sincerity, not with power, but with presence. Thank you for spending your time here with me, sharing silence, reflection, and truth. I hope this episode reminds you that luxury is not just a lifestyle, it's a language, and that language is love. Until next time, this is Mr. Luxury, wishing you a calm heart, clear purpose, and a life filled with quiet, lasting beauty.